Fire is bigger than Paris. More than 16,000 hectares have been burnt. One woman has been killed and 3 other people are missing. And over 2,000 firefighters are battling the fire in the south of France. It's been declared by France's Prime Minister as a disaster on an unprecedented scale. The fire is still progressing, although experts say burning with less intensity than before. Well, let's get an update. We're going to talk to our reporter, Carys Garland, who's at the scene for us. Carys, it's constantly evolving, this fire, isn't it? I mean, how's the situation changed over the last few hours since we last spoke?
Well, Stuart, as you can probably see from my hair, the wind has just picked up here in the Aude department in the south of France. This is what firefighters were dreading after some more favourable conditions overnight, that they saw a lack of wind and more humidity. But now as the temperature gets hotter and hotter and we see this wind coming in, the fight is going to get more difficult for these firefighters. You can see behind me the hill completely incinerated, a valley to my right also, and a property to my left as well. So this is an area that was particularly devastated by these fires. And earlier we spoke to a firefighter who's been on the front lines of this fire, if you like, for 48 hours. He said he was putting drops in his eyes after having smoke coming into his eyes. They're waiting for the new team to take over and to give them some respite. But the fight definitely isn't over here, and residents are waiting to see what will happen. Some have already been evacuated, some are told not to move too much to keep the roads clear for firefighters to move about the area as they need.
Yeah, obviously physically devastating there, Carys, but very devastating mentally as well for a lot of people.
Exactly. I spoke to some of those people that were evacuated. There are about 24 of them just standing around in a car park, just waiting for news. I spoke to one man who said that he was waiting to know whether he could go back home. He'd left in the evening of Tuesday, and I asked him if he was able to leave with any belongings, and he said no, that it just arrived so quickly that all I could do was leave with the clothes on my back. And as you mentioned, Saint-Laurent-de-la-Cabrisse, this is where one woman in her 60s tragically died. That man that I spoke to told me that she wanted to go back to her home to get her dog, but it was just too late, obviously. And the mayor here, we also spoke to Xavier de Volentin. He's obviously feeling the grief and the despair of the residents as well. Take a listen.
They are still in shock. It's hard to know what's going through their minds, other than sadness, of course, when they see the landscape. This is where the town hall services and volunteers are starting to gather the concerns on people's minds, so that we can provide them with solutions, so that they can start living again in the days and weeks to come.
But it's not just homes or things like that. You might be able to see behind me some of these vineyards that have just been incinerated by these flames. That's one thing in particular that the region is known for. It's wine and tourism, and people are worried about how these two sectors might be affected by this blaze. The Prime Minister, François Bayrou, visited on Wednesday and made a special mention for those winemakers, hinting at help from the state. But regardless of all this material damage and obviously these emotionally tough times, the mayor underlined one thing, and that was that in these times of tragedy, the community really comes together, and that's what they're seeing there with volunteers helping out to those that were evacuated and also to the firefighters.
Carys, thanks very much. Carys Garland talking to us live there from the scene of that fire in the south of France.